Hi everyone, welcome back to 10th standard maths class. In the previous video, we learned the first three concepts related to the section right angle and circle. And some problems also we have finished from the first activity. Now in this video, let's move on to our next question. Okay, here is your question. Question number 6. The two circles in the picture cross each other at A and B. The points P and Q are the other ends of the diameters through A. First sub question, prove that P, B, Q lie on a line. Second sub question, prove that PQ is parallel to the line joining the center of the circles and is twice as long as this line. This is the rough figure given in the question. Okay, two circles, one small circle and one large circle. These two circles are crossing each other at the point A and the point B. At A and B, these two circles are cross each other. And AP and AQ, these two are the diameters. In the question it is given that P and Q are the end of the diameters of these two circles through the point from the point A. Okay, so AP and AQ are the diameters and A and B are the crossing points. Okay, now first sub question is prove that these 3 points P, B, Q, these 3 points are on a line. Okay, are on a line means when we join these 3 points we must get a straight line. That is the question. Okay, we must get a straight line. That is the question we need to prove here. Okay, in order to prove this P, B and Q are on a line, first of all let's join P, B and Q. Just join P, B, Q. After that let's join A and B. Okay, like this straight line. Here also one straight line. After that, here you can see one angle ABP. What is the speciality of angle ABP? It is a right angle because angle in the small semicircle. Okay, this is a 90-degree angle in the small semicircle. Similarly, what is angle ABQ? AQ is the diameter and B is a point on the large circle. So angle ABQ is also a right angle, that is 90-degree angle. So in this line we got AB is a perpendicular line. This is 90-degree. This is also 90-degree. What do you mean by this is 90-degree and this is 90-degree? The sum will be 180-degree. You know one word related to this. Okay, if in a straight line, if one line is perpendicular, then what is the name of this? Line? It is linear pair. It is linear pair. Linear pair means one straight line is cut by another straight line. So here AB is a straight line cut PQ as 90-degree, 90-degree, that is sum 180-degree. That means we can say that PQ is a straight line. So PQ is a straight line means P, B, Q are on the same line. Okay, that is the answer. Second sub question is prove that the line joining the center of these two circles. So here C is the center of the small circle, D is the center of the large circle. So CD, the line joining center of these two circles is parallel to the line PQ, parallel, and it is half the length of PQ. Okay, we have to prove these two are parallel line and we need to prove CD is half of PQ. That also we need to prove. This one we can prove simply by considering the concept you have learned in 9th standard. In the previous problem also we used this concept. That is, if we have a triangle and if this is the midpoint and this is the midpoint, the line joining these two midpoints will be parallel to the baseline and half of the base. Okay, this is a concept you have learned in 9th standard. Okay, so according to this concept, here we can consider APQ. So this is A, this is P, this is Q. Okay, the same thing we can consider here. So here PQ is a line, C is the center, that means C is the midpoint of AP. D is the center, means D is the midpoint of AQ. So CD is a line joining midpoint of these two sides, that means this CD will be parallel to PQ, and this measurement, this is CD equal to PQ by 2. PQ's half. Okay, whatever be the measurement of PQ, that length half will be the length of CD. Next is question number 7. Prove that the two circles drawn on the two equal sides of an isosceles triangle as diameters pass through the midpoint of the third side. Okay, so here figure is not given, we need to draw the rough figure first. Two circles drawn on the two equal sides of an isosceles triangle, that means we need an isosceles triangle first. So let's draw the figure. This is a rough figure. Here ABC, this is the isosceles triangle. AB and AC are equal sides, and first circle is with AB as diameter, second circle with AC as diameter. Here we have to prove that these two circles will pass through the midpoint of the third side of this triangle, third side of an isosceles triangle. So third side means BC is the third side. Here we need to prove these two circles meeting point, that means this point. Let's take that point as M. Okay, this point is a midpoint of BC, that is we need to prove here this point will be midpoint of BC. So for that, let's join AM and BC. AM and BC already joined. AM, let's join AM here. Here when we join AM, we will get two angles in each circle. Okay, two angles, that means first angle is AMB, that is in the first circle. Next is AMC, that is in the second circle. Here AB is the diameter, so AB is the diameter means, and M is a point on this circle. Okay, M is a point on first circle. So what about the angle AMB here? Angle AMB, we know the first concept, angle on the circle is always 90 degrees. So angle AMB will be 90 degree. Next is angle AMC. Here also AC is a diameter and M is a point on the circle, that is in the second circle. M is a common point here. Okay, so this angle will also be 90 degree. Okay, so these two angles are 90 degree. Now we know for an isosceles triangle, if we draw a perpendicular bisector to the base, okay, for an isosceles triangle, perpendicular bisector to the base from the upper vertex, that perpendicular will bisect the base. Okay, will bisect the base means it will divide the base into two equal halves, that means BM and MC will be equal. So BM and MC will be equal means M is what? M is the midpoint. Okay, we can say that M is the midpoint. That is the answer. Next is question number 8. Prove that all four circles drawn with the sides of a rhombus as diameters pass through a common point. One figure is given. Okay, here two methods are there. Okay, first one is with the direct proof. Direct proof means you have to write all the steps. Otherwise, you can use another method, that is by drawing the figure with the exact measurement, that also possible. Okay, so here I think the second method is easy for you. Okay, so I will explain the second method here. That means here we need four circles. Okay, four circles we need around the rhombus. Okay, around rhombus. So first of all, draw a rhombus. You know, rhombus means all the four sides are equal. Okay, and opposite angles also equal. So with any measurement, just draw a rhombus first, like 5 centimeter, like that. Okay, so just draw a rhombus first. After that, if you are taking 5 centimeter as a side, find the midpoint of each side. Total four sides, mark the midpoint of all the four sides and take each midpoint as a center and take the whole line, whole side as the diameter. That means that half of the side will be the radius. Okay, using that just draw circles. Okay, in all the four sides you have to draw circles. After that just check whether all the four circles are meeting at a common point or not. Okay, just check. This is the second method. I think this is better. Okay, so try to do that. Similarly, you can do the next also. Prove that this is true for any quadrilateral with adjacent sides equal as in the picture. Just take any quadrilateral. Adjacent side equal means in one side you can take the measurement as the same. Okay, in the first corner you have to take both the sides as same. For the second corner also you have to take the two sides as the same. Then also try the same measurement. Each side's midpoint you have to take as the center of the circle. Our next subheading is chord, angle and arc. Okay, in the previous section we consider diameter as a chord. Okay, diameter also a chord. Now in this section we are going to consider a chord other than the diameter. Okay, here this is a chord and it is not a diameter. And same like the previous case, we can draw angles from the end point of this chord. Okay, to any side. Any side means here only on the circle angles we are considering. Okay, so here end point of these two, end point of this chord is A and B. These two are the end point of this chord and AB is not a diameter. Here one large arc. This chord divide the circle into two unequal parts, not equal parts, unequal parts. One large part and one small part. In these two parts we can draw angles, isn't it? If we are drawing an angle like this, okay, one angle will be here, angle ACB. Same to the down portion also we can draw. Okay, ADB. And one speciality is there for all these angles. In one arc, if we are considering the large arc AB, all the angles in this large arc will be same, will be equal. For example, if ACB is 30 degree, the next angle will also be 30 degree, that is APB. This angle will also be 30 degree. Now if we are drawing one more angle here like this, okay, then this angle will also be 30 degree. That means all the angles in one arc, all the angles in a same arc will be equal. Okay, similarly in the alternate arc, this small arc AB is the alternate arc of this large arc AB. Alternate arc, one arc is alternate arc of the other one. Okay, so in this alternate arc also we can say the same concept, ADB. All the angles in this arc will be same, whatever be the measurement. If this is 150 degree, if this is 150 degree, all the remaining angles from the endpoints AB will also be 150 degree. This is the first concept you have to learn in this section. Okay, all the angles in alternate arcs will be equal. Here in this circle AB is a chord. Okay, AB is a chord, and from the end point of this chord A and B, two angles are drawn to each arc. Okay, that is ACB, that is in the large arc, and its alternate arc. In the alternate arc also one angle, that is angle ADB, and O is the center. Okay, and our concept is, if this angle, okay, if this angle is x degree, suppose x degree, if this is x degree, that is from the point A and B, okay, from a chord, from the end point of the chord, if we are drawing an angle in the alternate arc, if that angle is x degree, then there is a relation with this angle, that means to the center. The same endpoint of the chord can be joined to the center also, then also we will get one angle. The relation between these two angles is half and double relation. Half and double relation. That means if this is x degree, this will be 2x degree. This will be 2x degree. Okay, this is the relation. That means if this is 30 degree, this will be 30 into 2, that is 60 degree. If this is 70 degree, central angle will be 140 degree. Okay, like that. If this is 50 degree, central angle will be 100 degree. Central angle and alternate arc angle. Okay, upper angle and central angle, like that we can say. Okay, so this is the central angle from the end point of the, and this is angle in the alternate arc. Okay, so this is half and double relation. And one more is there is one relation between this angle and this angle. Okay, that means in these two alternate arc angles, this angle and this angle, relation is, if this is x degree, this will be 180 minus x degree. This is the relation. Okay, that means if this is 30 degree, 180 minus 30, 150 will be this angle. Okay, all are related to one chord. Okay, one chord must be there in common. Okay, so 30 degree here, then it will be 150 degree, then it will be 30 into 2, 60 degree. Okay, so this is a relation. So if we know one of the angle out of these three, okay, if we know one of the angle, it is easy to find the remaining angles. Okay, suppose if we know this angle, okay, only this angle we know. For example, this is 140 degree. Okay, this is 140 degree, this angle. We need to find central angle and the alternate angle. How we will find? 140 degree here means it's alternate angle. Alternate angle means just opposite angle, that is 180 minus 140. Sum of these two is 180, that is 180 minus x here. So this is x, means this will be 180 minus x. So here 140 degree is given. So this will be what? 180 minus 140, that is 40 degree will be here. 40 degree. Okay, so if this is 40 means what will be this angle? It's double. So 40 into 2, this will be 80. Like that you can find. From the central angle also we can find. If central angle is given like 80, then how we will find the next one? 80 is here, means its half will be the alternate angle, that is 80 by 2, that is 40 here. If 40 got, then 180 minus 40, 140 will be here. Same way we can apply for the questions. You can expect these for the short questions. 2 mark questions you can expect from this section. Okay, 2 or 3 mark questions. One of the angle will give, and you need to find the remaining angles. Okay. Now let's move on to problems. Page number 53, first question. Here is your question. In all the pictures given below, O is the center of the circle and A, B, C are points on it. Calculate all the angles of triangle ABC and triangle OBC in each. 3 figures given. Let's start from the first figure. Okay. This is a first sub question. Okay, first figure. 3 figures are given. This is the first one. So here A, B, C are points on the circle. O is the center of the circle. Here we have to find all the angles of triangle ABC. Triangle ABC. Only a small part is given. That is angle OBA and OCA is given. We need to find all the angles of triangle ABC and all the angles of triangle OBC also. Okay. So here, first of all, let's join O and A like this. Okay, just join O and A. Now you can see triangle OAB. Triangle OAB is an isosceles triangle. Why? OB and OA are radius. Okay, OA and OB are radius. Therefore, triangle OAB is an isosceles triangle. So, isosceles triangle means these two sides equal, means its opposite angle will also be equal. So, this is 20 degree given. That means this will also be 20 degree. Okay, that also 20 degree. Here also OAC also isosceles triangle. So, one angle 30 degree. That means this angle will also be 30 degree. Okay, now By adding these two angles, we will the complete angle A. That means the whole angle A we will get. That means angle A is what here? 30 plus 20, 50 degrees. So angle A is 50 degree. Okay. Now we know the concept. Here BC. Consider the line BC. This is a chord. Okay. B and C are on the circle means BC is a chord. So from B and C, central angle O is here. So if this angle A is 50 degree means this angle will be what? Half and double relation. So this is wide angle. Just remember that wide. Okay. So wide means it will be double. So 50 here, that means this angle will be 100. Okay. This will be 100 double. Now this angle OBC also isosceles triangle. Triangle OBC also isosceles triangle. So for an isosceles triangle, if this angle is 100 degree, then this will be what? How we will find these two angles? In 8th standard we have learned this. So this is 100 means 180 minus 100 by 2. These two must be equal. Sum is 180. So 180 minus 100, that is equal to 80. So 80 by 2, 40 degree. So each angle will be 40. This is 40 degree. This is also 40 degree. Okay. So angle A 50 degree. Angle B is what? 20 plus 40, 60 degree. Here angle C will be 40 plus 30, 70 degree. Okay. For the triangle OBC, angle O is 100, angle B is 40, angle C is 40. Okay. So this is the answer. Hope you understood. Thank you. See you in the next video.